All right, Shalom Akim. Before I begin, I want to start off by giving infinite praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakakudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, I agree Millstone, Mel Teach, and Ruel. And peace and blessings be unto you, fellow Akim. You Akim that are also pushing out this word in truth, faith, and sincerity. And those who want this lesson, I'm going to be bringing out certain scriptures, of course, pertaining to, as brothers may see on, as brothers may see on the screen, 1 Corinthians 9, all right, talking about the race for the gospel's sake. And just like how I mentioned to the Akim, that are also pushing out this word in truth and in sincerity, all right, because we're all pretty much entered into this great race, all right, this race of endurance. And I actually wanted to look it up, but I couldn't find anything really totally concrete, since it's all relates back to Greek customs. When brothers actually look up triathlons, it pretty much just means I forgot the other terms for it, but triathlon relates back to 3, and it just goes into the different types of races that men used to partake in the ancient world, and pretty much today, with the whole Olympics and such. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is because, of course, the Apostle Paul pretty much directed just that to the inhabitants of Corinth, to the believers and the Akim in Corinth, right? So this is we'll just begin here, because this is known as the top or Exhibit A, right? In terms of what? Being in this truth in general, all right? Being in this walk, as brothers say, and also being in this race, all right? That's been handed to us to begin, especially when you start coming out, when you start listening, even you're a part of this race, this grand race, because you're striving for something. Every brother's striving for what? Salvation, essentially. So this is 1 Corinthians 9:24. It says, "Know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize? So run that ye may obtain." All right, and I'm gonna hop on over actually to Habakkuk 2. Habakkuk 2:2 says, and the Lord answered me and said, "Write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it." All right, and it's funny, because when you go into scriptures like these, you understand that. And actually, as a matter of fact, when you read it in other versions as well, all right, it goes into how it pretty much it's almost literal, all right, to run and to also partake in that race. And I'm also hop on over to Ecclesiastes just to get these scriptures out the way. This is Ecclesiastes 9:11. Says, "I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not given to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to men of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill, but time and chance happeneth to them all." Yeah, that's another thing. This chance, because this opportunity to essentially to truly receive salvation, not like how you would not like how it's been preached to you in the Christian church and the Catholic church or Islam even, right? But this was by chance of the Heavenly Father. Yahweh Shem Yahushai chosen young men, or men of all ages, truly to return unto him. Once you step out and your eyes have seen your teachers, this is truly that race commencing for you. All right, every man has that special quirk. Every man that has that has to have that drive also to keep them going within that race. And this race, of course, as I said, it's not given to the swift. It's not a race that one would think that requires a lot of speed, right? This is a race of endurance, meaning when you look up the word endurance in the Adam online, it pretty just means to be made hardened, all right? And we know that this walk in general, this run of endurance is not going to be easy. Of course, it's not going to be easy. This is a race of endurance, meaning what? It's essentially how much you can take, right, and keep going. This is right. So verse 24 says, "Know ye not that they which run in a race." So like it says, "Which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize. So run that ye may obtain. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible." Of course, speaking upon what at that time the Greeks that were actually partaking in those Olympic courses, they did it literally to obtain corruptible crown, and a crown to them was what? Fame, glory, all right, recognition for their success, and of course an actual crown, gold, all right. Those things are all corruptible, all right. A man's reputation, corruptible, all right. A man's stature in terms of glory and fame is all corruptible. It can be taken away from you, and it can be soon forgotten. You know how easy it is for that to even happen. And even today, I mean, history books will tell you that there had to have been so many prize winners and famous men at that time. Again, famous men at that time that we don't even know about. The names have been pretty much forgotten, right? Because it was essentially a corruptible crown, but nevertheless, it incorruptible. Verse 26, I therefore so run, that is uncertainly, so fight I, not the one that beateth the air. So, okay, when you go into the, I don't have it right now, but when you go to the Blue Letter and you go into the CSB or other normal English translations, Apostle Paul is literally just saying that there's no doubt in me, right? So I fight. So I put up a fight, and not as one that beateth the air, meaning he's not gonna be missing. Essentially, he's not gonna be missing the mark. He's not gonna be lacking in believing in this thing. All right, he's gonna do what he has to do, and he will indeed succeed. All right, and the thing is, we have to have the exact same mindset, of course, that the Apostle Paul had, the men of the Lord had, and the same spirit, truly, because really, Yahushua, he said that he prayed for us that our faith fail not, right? And not only was Apostle Paul a partaker of the gospel's sufferings, right? The sufferings that comes from the good word, the gospel, but he was a partaker of that race, or this race of endurance, all right? And we know that indeed is a race of endurance because what? Patience, which the word patience literally means to suffer. We're literally suffering every day. We are patiently waiting. And actually, as a matter of fact, like I read in Habakkuk 2, the second chapter, and you read in verse 1, it goes into that watchman. A watchman, literally their job, their whole core trait to be a watchman in that job is to be patient, to wait. Wait, I say, on the Lord. Right? So, and this race is just that. There's a good quote, of course, by that fictional boxer, Rocky Balboa. When you look up there's a certain quote, I think it's in the 5th movie came out. He was speaking to his son. There's a certain scene where he pretty much mentions, not only is this world a big and, it's a nasty and ugly place, but it's about, how'd that quote go? It's not about how hard he hit. It's about how hard he can get hit and keep going. That's how winning is done. That's pretty much what he was, how the quote goes. I probably butchered it, but you get, brothers get the point. That's how winning is done, truly. All right, because that is how you continue and also stay in this race of endurance. This race may not be given to the swift, but indeed it is a race of endurance to where you have to pray to Yahweh Shem Yahushua to give you the strength, to call upon that strength, all right, for you to keep going, all right? Verse 26, I therefore so run, that is uncertainly, meaning without doubt, so fight I, that is one that beateth the air. But I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means that I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway. All right, and that's another thing. Being essentially being an example unto the crowd. Right, you don't want to be that person. All right, who's casted out and pretty much is looked on as that prime. Again, another Exhibit A example of how not to be. Essentially being a reprobate, right? And again, these things can be avoided by what? Self-examination, all right, prayer, all right? And again, this is not going to be an easy road, and that's why I'm going to end it off with this 2nd Ezra, the 7th chapter, all right? Because this is, of course, a race that has to be given to men who are ready to put themselves to pretty much do fiery trials, men that can handle it. And truly, if the Lord brought you into this and you truly believe in this thing, then you're not going to fall regardless. You're not going to utterly be fallen down and cast down, as the scriptures say. All right, because we indeed do fall, all right, but it's not for our utter destruction. All right. This is 2 Ezra 7 and 5. It says, who then could go into the sea to look upon it and to rule it if he went not through the narrow? And what's the narrow? It's essentially the difficult tasks, the difficult atmosphere, the difficult things that is indeed brought upon us, those areas of discomfort. How could he come into the broad, right? Which the broad is, of course, what? The kingdom of heaven. Actually, to say it right here, the broad is indeed that city. Verse 6, it says, there's also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field, and is full of all good things. The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there was a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water. And one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once. All right, and that's another thing. We're doing this because what? It's the engrafted soul, the engrafted word that's able to save your soul. Your soul in particular, meaning myself. I can't save another brother next to me. I can't save a brother who I hold dear, right? We're all in this for ourselves because ultimately what? We have to work out our own salvation with fear and in trembling, all right? This race is truly something to be a part of if you think about it. But at the end of the day, we understand that if the Most High be for us, who can be against us? So truly, the only man you have to fear, to have true dread over, is the Heavenly Father. All right, which is a good spirit to be in, to keep that in the back of your mind. That's why the scriptures say the fear of the Lord is his treasure. Isaiah 33 and 6. Verse 9, it says, if this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? Yeah. In other words, if this man didn't partake in the race, how the hell is he gonna receive the prize, the reward, all right, that he was meant to receive? You know, the other participants are going to be looking at this guy funny. He didn't even participate, you know. That man had to participate. That man has to go through the same trials. That man has to endure, all right. Verse 10, and I said, it is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion. And indeed, that is our portion. That is our lot, essentially, to every man of the Lord. Even when you look at Job, which is a good example as to how brothers are today, all right, how every day we are tried, every day we are tempted of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and we have to be made hardened. We have to remain not only in this race, but remember that to also to not make haste, because to make haste means to be quick, to be up in atoms. But nevertheless, this race is not given to the swift. So Akim ought to pray to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai to receive those things. That's essentially that has to make you steadfast. That's another thing, to remain unmovable. All right, this endurance has to remain long and also fruitful in this walk up until Hamashiach Yahushai returns. Because up until then, does that race stop? Up until then, does the pain and also that narrow place that's dangerous to fall is going to cease. All right, because that's the end game, truly, to receive the incorruptible crown, everything that was promised to the men of the Lord, the men that were promised to receive that crown. All right, and this is a good thing we're doing as well. Let me actually end it off with that. James 1 and 12. Blessed is the man that endureth the temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. All right, so blessed is the man, blesses us, the fact that we go through this thing. We've been enduring for however X amount of years. All right, because when we're tried, and within those moments of affliction, albeit there is a forgetfulness of joyfulness and prosperity, nevertheless, Akim always have to keep in the forefront of our minds that we will indeed receive something for this, a crown of life, and the incorruptible. All right, things that to where hell even we will be remembered for after Hamashiach Yahushua receives his glory. We will be remembered forever alongside with him. Right, joint with him in afflictions, and also joint with him in the glorification. All right, so let's on this video was edifying. I'm gonna close out by giving all praise. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rokakudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders. I agree most of them going to teach and rule well. And peace and blessings be unto you, fellow Alchemy brothers, that also push out this word in truth, faith, and sincerity. With that, I'm going to say shalom.